Good afternoon, grinders. This is your MLB SimLabs analysis for Wednesday, April 9th. And this is for the 5-game night slate tonight. We will have a joint Grinders Live and Crunch Time at 5 p.m. Eastern. So tune into that later. Hit that thumb button. Give me the like button on the way in the door. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Hit the notification bell to always know when we go live. Remember, tune in later today. I don't think we necessarily have any weather, I guess. I mean, obviously Chicago for the early slate. Cleveland, yellow-green should be fine. Kansas City should be fine. We have no problem with weather tonight, but always check in with Kevin Roth on Twitter as well as on Crunch Time. Let's take a look at SimLabs for today. 5-game slate. Okay, smaller slate. So the pitching options are going to be a bit condensed. I mean, we have a pretty good pitching on today's slate. So with these totals, I mean, obviously Milwaukee has a high total in Colorado. That's going to be like the chalk game. The Atlanta 4.5 implied team total, Boston 4, Tampa Bay 4. It's going to be quite condensed, probably to that Coors game. But the pitching options, as far as Kikuchi and Ryan Pepio, Kevin Gausman, Joe Ryan, I think like Grant Holmes is going to be a popular option. But the range of outcomes for Grant Holmes, we have his pitch count at 85. It's quite possible that comes in significantly under that. He's 6,500 facing the Phillies with a sub 4-point implied run total. So I'm a big fan of the Robbie Ray rule when it comes to DFS. Very, very famous rule. Cheese is good. Dave Potts always says in his $1 million musings. Robbie Ray was always like this very high variance pitcher. He could like walk 10 guys. He could strike out 10 guys. In high variance spots, I tend to go away from ownership. So like if people are fearful and they're like, I don't want to take the risk, and he ends up being, 10% owned, I'm much more likely to play that type of person. Someone that, people are just like, he's going to pitch 85 pitches and do great against the Phillies, and he ends up at 35% owned, maybe more likely to fade. But of course, on a 5-game slate, you could build any lineup. That really depends on how you construct it. I may not be as concerned with like 5-man stacks. You could probably do 4-mans. It's going to be very condensed. Let me just tell you, the ownership is going to be very condensed to that Coors game. So if you're going to play like Grant Holmes and like a Milwaukee stack, that is going to be the chalk. But who knows? Maybe that's actually underowned. Possibly. I don't think so. We see here Pepio pretty heavily overowned. Grant Holmes a bit overowned. The underowned pitchers are essentially like Joe Ryan at 9,500, Kikuchi at 8,300. I like a combination of those two if you could find some cheap bats. But let's run 150 lineups in SimLabs. And what I'm going to do this for a large field contest, medium range. I'm going to go into this advanced settings, and I'm going to focus a lot on less on correlation. I'm not going to put in the forcing 5-man stacks. I'm just going to let the simulation deal with that. So I'm going to up the simulation weight. I'm going to lower the correlation weight. I'm going to up the ownership weight, which means I'm probably going to get more of Kikuchi and Ryan and less of Grant Holmes and Ryan Pepio. So we put that, okay, maybe not that high, but good enough. High simulation weight. And let's see what comes out here in 150 lineups. So it doesn't matter that you're not playing 150 lineups. You could do this just with 1 to 3 lineups, because you could use SimLabs to just, pick out the lineups that you want to play and use it as a research tool, as I do lose my voice once again. Okay, we get some Braves, Braves and Twins against Seth Lugo. I think that's okay. But we're still getting a lot of, even without putting in the minimum stack rule. I mean, it's baseball, so you're gonna get plenty of correlation as it is. So let's go to exposures. You could go in SimLabs here. Pitching wise, yeah, a lot of Kikuchi, a lot of Gausman. Not as much. I mean, some Ryan. I mean, he's one of the more expensive pitchers on the slate at 9,500. Some Pepio, but like Grant Holmes, some Tyler Alexander in Colorado. I mean, he'll be owned. I mean, because the Rockies are not a good team. So even him, we have it like almost 20% ownership. Maybe he comes in a little less owned than that, 15%. He's only 6K, so he doesn't have to do that much. But not all that enticing to me. Stack wise, it's like, I mean, we even see with like the stack combinations without forcing in stacks, we're still getting 25% 4-man, 4 2s, 4 3s, 5 2s, 5 1s. We're not getting like 3 2 2 2, 3 3 1 1. So it's still, no matter, even if you're not forcing in correlation, it's still, when things simulate out well and the batting order is going around, getting that 5 plate appearances, 6 plate appearances is definitely a positive. So let's take a look at the teams. We're getting a lot of Braves today. A lot of Braves against Taijuan Walker. I mean, I don't mind that at all. We're getting Braves, Rockies, Twins, Brewers. Not as much. Maybe the Brewers are going to be a little bit overowned. Maybe the play is to, if people don't want to play Tyler Alexander, Colorado Rockies become a little bit less appealing. But if people want to spend down and go to 6K to play Alexander, the Rockies could actually be a little bit of leverage. They have the second highest implied team total on the slate. But I just suspect that people just don't like playing pitchers and cores. And with Grant Holmes there at 6,500, I think it's much more likely that Grant Holmes is a little bit more overowned and Alexander is underowned. So that takes me off the Rockies just a little bit. But the Braves. The Braves ownership is kind of up there, right? With $3,800 Michael Harris in the lineup, Austin Riley at 26%. So it's not like it's really not like the Braves are contrarian. But I mean, take a look at this number 2 lineup. SimLabs score of 95, which is pretty damn good. Essentially, it's a 4-4 lineup, right? 4 Braves, 4 Rockies, Kikuchi, and Gausman. I think Gausman's ownership may not be as high as it would normally be on a slate like that, maybe 20 to 24%. He has the 3rd highest strikeout prop. Number 1, Pepio, Kikuchi are up there. I think Pepio is just going to be a little bit overowned. So maybe I'm a little bit less likely to play him. So let's say if we go in here, we could go in SimLabs and we could actually exclude players. So let's say I wanted to find a lineup that didn't have Holmes and didn't have Pepio in it, and just contain it to that. And then, we could play. We could look at some Joe Ryan lineups, but let me just do this. Let me put in 20 lineups, and let's see what comes up. If we're gonna play, if we're gonna play an Atlanta stack, because you could also do the team stack filters here and just lock in ATL. And let's take a look at just Atlanta lineups that don't have Pepio or Holmes in it. Maybe don't even have Tyler Alexander in it. Yeah, we get a 5-2-1 Gausman, Kikuchi, Vinny Pasquantino, 2 Twins in it. Carlos Correa is only 7% owned, so this looks pretty good. Sean Murphy, 6% owned. You can play. There are ways to play Brave stacks even with this high ownership here, like Marcell Ozuna, high owned. There are ways to get around this, especially if you're not playing a guy like Holmes or Pepio, who may be 2 of the higher owned pitchers on the slate. Kikuchi may be the highest owned pitcher on the slate, but you combine that with someone else, I think that's perfectly fine. Right, we get Atlanta with Minnesota, a lot of Minnesota, some Kansas City. Milwaukee's going to be super owned. Like Christian Yelich at 5,700, 28% owned. I have no problem not playing the Brewers today, right? Even though they're facing Senzatella. He's not a strikeout pitcher; he's a contact pitcher. So, if BABIP goes his way, the Brewers, may not hit the ceiling. The Sims are fine with the Brewers, but they don't just stand out as like the optimal stack. It seems like the Braves are. So picking one of these Braves lineups would be fine. And let's say we excluded the Braves, right? Still, we exclude Pepio, exclude Holmes, exclude the Braves. And then what other, maybe we're getting, I would assume we're getting Twins lineups more so than anything else. Let's take a look. It's pretty quick to do all this research. I mean, look, 2-3 seconds, right? Yeah, here we go. See, I predicted it. Twins, Joe Ryan, Yusei Kikuchi, right? We get 3 Twins, 4 Rockies, 1 Brave. These are the lineups that I'd be playing, right? As far as the Sims are concerned, SimLabs ratings in the 90s here, right? Some Boston in this lineup. They're not going to be very well known. So here's some Milwaukee lineups, right? But playing with Tyler Alexander, just so you could fit in Yelich. Terang is 5,600. I mean, yes, he's for cores. Terang is exactly the type of player you want. Doubles, triples, right in the gap. He goes 3 for 4 with a double and a triple. You're getting 25 fantasy points even without a home run. But yeah, so these non-Atlanta lineups, Rockies, Twins. Yeah, it's Rock and Brewer. I mean, obviously in the Brewers, but a lot of these Brewers lineups have Tyler Alexander in it. So let's actually exclude that as well. Let's say we exclude Tyler Alexander as well and don't put in Atlanta. What do we get? Let me just do 10 lineups. What do these lineups look like? Because really, that's what you're using SimLabs for. You can make choices just like this, but it's just a matter of what's the rest of the lineup. Here's a 5-man Rockies lineup with Contreras, Dunn, Marcelo Zuna. I mean, this is playable. Bouchard at the end, at the bottom of the order. Tyler Freeman at the basically bottom of the order. Rockies. Not a huge fan of that, but a way to get different. You get KC, Minnesota game stack here. Gausman, Kikuchi, and then 4 Twins and 4 Royals. That the total is kind of low, 7.5. But I mean, look at the ownership here. Highly leveraged type of stack. And you can see here in the money rating in comparison, this is more of a boom or bust type of lineup. Higher variance. Obviously we put in large field here. So we're going to get more large field style lineups compared to the smaller field single entry type of stuff. But yeah, this is how you would use SimLabs to research tonight's MLB slate. And obviously, the lineups aren't in yet. You would do this close to the lock once we get confirmed starting lineups. But it looks like top stack in the Sims when weighing and everything, projection, correlation, leverage, would be Atlanta. The number 2, Colorado. Number 3, Minnesota. Number 4, Milwaukee. Number 5, Kansas City. That's what it seems like. Not getting a lot of Tampa Bay, really. I mean, they're facing Kikuchi. You could for leverage, you could do that. If you want to play one lineup like that, it's perfectly fine. But yeah, so that's kind of what SimLabs is saying for today. Kind of a quick show before I completely lose my voice. So hit that thumbs up button on your way out the door. Definitely tune in to Grinders Live and Crunch Time later today. Hit that notification bell to always know when we go live. Kevin Roth will have an updated weather report. They're going to be going over the NBA slate and the MLB slate tonight. And remember, big game in Dallas today in the NBA. Luka going back to Dallas. Let's see how much the Mavericks are booed today for that deal. And I will see you next week, as I always do, for the SimLabs analysis on RotoGrinders.com.